All right. What up, party people? It's Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back for another episode of BrassReel tonight, or BrassReel today, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Still hadn't really worked that all out yet, but thank y'all for joining me. And if you guys joined us last night for the Star Wars episode 4 and 5 breakdown and episode 6 finale theories for Obi-Wan Kenobi, appreciate that. But if not, check it out on the channel. Look at it, give it a whirl. But today, I'm going to just talk about a few things. You probably clicked on the thumbnail and saw the Kevin Feige deal and the Ezra Miller deal. We'll touch on that in just a second. But first off, just kind of talking about some quick hits real quick. Universal just revved up their Cine Europe presentation in Barcelona, and they offered up some glimpses of some new stuff. Got Fast and Furious X. Oh boy, I don't know how you guys feel about that, if you're excited about that or not, but Fast and Furious X, you know what, let me get that on I think I had it better this time. Yeah, I like it that way. Just announced their new cast members at this thing, including Jason Momoa and Brie Larson. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but we all know that the Fast and Furious 9 or F9, it was pretty ridiculous. It was, I was talking to my partner Andrew last night. You guys know Andrew, you've been watching the channel. And, you know, I really have a lot of love for part 4, 5, and 6. Of course, we all have love for the first one if you're a fan of the franchise. But 7 and 8 started to get pretty unrealistic, whereas they were always kind of unrealistic, and got more and more so every film. 7 and 8, especially 8, really started kind of like turning it into something else besides, you know, these cool Fast and the Furious films. They started becoming about like more superhero-esque, you know? And by the time they got to 9 and Hobbs and Shaw, which was the spinoff film, but by the time they got to part 9, it was so over the top that it was laughable. It wasn't even you couldn't buy it anymore. And so the fact that they've got the part 10 coming out, which Justin Lin, the director of a lot of them, including 4, 5, and 6, I believe, and the last one, F9, he's backed out of it. But a lot of that has been, from what I understand, is due to, and I'm not harping on anybody here, this is just me quoting reports, but due to like Vin Diesel not showing up on time, kind of being late to work all the time, and just not taking, while he takes it seriously and he's a producer of the franchise, sort of, from what I understand, having that kind of Hollywood actor syndrome on the set. And the people like The Rock, who ended up, reports say that he quit the franchise and is not coming back, even though there was a little bit of a rumor that it might be happening. He left the franchise because he didn't like the work ethic that Vin Diesel had. He's like, I just can't put up with this. This is not the way I roll. So because of that, there is no Rock in this Fast and Furious X, but they've added Jason Momoa and Brie Larson. So, you know, Brie Larson, I guess, is a cool enough name. She is Captain Marvel. But other than that, I think without the Captain Marvel title, she was just kind of another actor. Jason Momoa is definitely staked his claim in Hollywood. I'll definitely give him that. And I like the guy. I think he's kind of like that lovable frat boy, you know? But he seems like he's got a really good heart. He's a good dad. He sticks up for his friends, and I like that. And he's got a cool look. He's got that it factor, you know, or the X factor that some people refer to. And I feel like that he's definitely going to be the focal point of this new Fast and Furious movie. So enough Fast and Furious talk. There was also some them showing some clips of Halloween Halloween Ends, which is pretty exciting. If you guys don't know, while it is a Jason Blumhouse deal, it still is distributed by Universal. So they're the ones that kind of campaign the movie. Getting some pretty good reactions so far. I'm not sure what they've shown altogether, but they have shown a little bit. It says there was an extended clip of Jordan Peele's upcoming thriller Nope and a taste of Blumhouse's Halloween Ends, as well as trailers for such titles as 2023 Scare Megan and Fall Romcoms Bros, which I'm not sure what that means, scripted by Brothers, scripted by Billy Eichner and Julia Roberts. Oh, that's cool. Billy Eichner's pretty cool. And then George Clooney starring as Ticket to Paradise. So, anyways, not really cared about that all that much. Just the Halloween Ends stuff is really cool. So, I am definitely looking forward to seeing that because I loved Halloween Kills. I don't know if you guys was into Halloween Kills too much. I think when I first saw the ending, I was kind of a little like confused that they were going so hardcore on the he's pure evil. You know, they were taking that route. I was liking the more realistic footage or the realistic feel they had in the first film and the original, I say the original, the Halloween 2018. But the fact that they did sort of sprinkle in this pure evil taking over and him becoming like this unstoppable rebel force, I kind of like that a little bit too. So I'm really excited to see where they take Halloween Ends as far as the gratuitous violence that's going to happen. I have to think that Jamie Lee Curtis is going to get killed, but along with Michael. And I also have to think that Michael's going to die, but you never know. So ultimately, especially with the unrated extended cut that they released of Halloween Kills after it was, initially released, like if you have the Blu-ray, you have the extended cut. That made it way better and a little bit more effective because even the ending, there's a little bit more of the way things end and the way Jamie Lee Curtis sort of like starts leaving the hospital is really badass. And they didn't do that in the original cut. So if you haven't seen the extended cut of Halloween Kills, pretty badass. I'd definitely recommend it. Another thing I'm looking forward to that Universal announced with, and look, like it or not, some of his films are great. Some of them are bad. Some of them I hate. Some of them I love. But I do think that M. Night Shyamalan takes chances with movies. I always like that he takes risks. And a lot of people don't know this. He pays for all of his own movies. So M. Night has got a movie coming out called Knock at the Cabin. It's just got me interested right there. Any sort of like cabin in the woods type horror stories, I love, Evil Dead, all that stuff, or any summer camp woodsy type movies like Friday the 13th and all that. I absolutely adore. The Burning. That's just my style of film. That's why I was so excited. By the way, let me just touch on this real quick. See that poster behind me there? The Quarry, however you say it. I was really excited about that game because Until Dawn was awesome. I really loved Until Dawn, still do. I replay it occasionally. The Quarry was just a letdown. I think I'm going to do a review on that of how it was just a really big letdown. And look, we're not talking about like going to see a movie and being let down. These games these days, especially if you have a PS5, and I got this on PS5, these games these days are like $70. There's like, sometimes they're 60, but this one was 70 because of the nature of the game and what was involved with the graphics and stuff. Which there are good things to say about the graphics, but the gameplay itself and the engagement of this quote unquote horror game, I was really let down. And coming off of Until Dawn, this is the same studio from what I understand. Until Dawn was just really good. There was all these jump scares while you're playing it. It's interactive more. This game was really like you were watching a movie and making the decisions occasionally. And that's it. There was really no real engagement. I never really felt afraid or scared. And there was a little disappointment. So that was a little side shoot there. I wanted to mention that because it takes place in the woods and I love woods type horror stuff. And that's why I was so excited. And then it just didn't turn out like I wanted. But anyways, moving on to one little other topic. I have got, oh, you know what? I think I got that on the wrong spot there. I've got tickets to Black Phone tonight, and Andrew and I are going to go see that. We're going to go see a screening to that this evening, and I'm really excited about that. So we probably will do a spoiler discussion tonight. If not, I'll do a review on it very shortly after the film. But hopefully, Andrew and I can do a spoiler discussion this evening. Really excited about the Black Phone. Not sure if it's going to be like, I'm not sure how scary it's actually going to be. I'm trying not to get my hopes up for it. At first, I kind of had my hopes up for it like big time. And then I realized maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should chill out and just let the movie turn out to what it's going to be and me accept it for what it is. And because a lot of times I make the mistake of doing that and I shouldn't. So I expect it to be something then, and then it's like, I don't give it credit for what it was truly trying to be. But anyways, Um, Another thing right here, if you guys haven't seen the new trailer for Stranger Things Volume 2, Season 4, man, it proves to show that we might get a huge Vecna fight. And with 11 and Vecna, which is going to be great, 001 and 011, fighting, meaning, 1 and 11. I just think that there's a lot they could do with that we could really, really enjoy. But we'll see. I'll tell you this far, and I've said this when I talked about my Vecna is Freddy video. This is my favorite season of Stranger Things. I mean, it was really like for the first time in a season 4 of anything. I'd say the only other time in any season where it was a season 4 that I was like, "Holy shit," was probably Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad to me, not excuse me, not Breaking Bad, Dexter. I said Breaking Bad, not Breaking Bad. Dexter. Dexter season 4 was when John Lithgow came in there as the Trinity Killer. That was some of the best elevation from an already badass show. Like seasons 1, 2, and 3 were great. You're like, where are they going to go from here? And then when they came out with season 4 of Dexter and John Lithgow is the Trinity Killer, I it had a different level of fear to it that the other 3 didn't have. And obviously because it's involving Dexter on a closer personal level now and his family, but the events of part 4 I just did not see coming, especially the ending of part 4. And then clearly part 5, I think everybody agrees, is where they lost a little steam because they went so hard with part 4 with season 4. So I really hope and pray that Stranger Things 4 volume 2 doesn't let down from what we've already seen of these first 10 of these first 8 episodes. And I don't think it will. I think they had something in mind and there's a reason they saved these 2 for another segment of, let us wait for these last 2 episodes because I do think that they know they have something awesome. But also my other fear is that maybe this season is so good that the final season 5 isn't going to be that good. Now somebody correct me on this and help me out with this. But is Stranger Things ending this season or has it got another season? I've always been under the impression, even as of a recent article of that I've seen, that they were going through 5 seasons. So I'm going to see right now. Um, I'm looking at, it says, it does say season 5 is going to be the last one. So yeah, they still have one more season after this. So my hope is that they just don't ruin it. Like give us a season 4, then a season 5 is just kind of mediocre. Like I really want it to go out with a bang. Now, bringing it back to Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is one of those shows that I feel like the finale was a really awesome finale. They slightly ruined it with the oh, what was it called? Sorry, I got an itch in my ear that's been killing me. I got to get that. They slightly ruined it with El Camino. I think they just like I didn't need to hear that story. I just kind of liked where it ended. It was a little ambiguous on Jesse's behalf, and I liked that. But the way that Walter went out was just beautiful. And hopefully we get a scene like that in season 5 of Stranger Things, and hopefully the whole season's that way. But I think I had one more thing that I was going to talk about. And let me see if I can get to it. It had to do with the director, Louis Leterrier. Hang on one second, and then we'll get to the main stuff. Sorry, guys. I just had that pulled up, and I lost it. So he is. Oh, that's all right. He's the guy directing Fast and Furious 10. So never mind. I'm not going to focus on him anymore. I missed that opportunity. We'll skip past that. So one of the main topics today is Kevin Feige. He is giving us a little bit of stuff on the MCU as far as some updates. So basically saying that so the cinematic has included the box office blockbusters like Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which $942 million worldwide so far. But as of now, There's a handful of cliffhangers that don't appear to have any connection to one another and don't appear to be building towards a franchise untitled Uniting Endgame. The Doctor Strange teaming up with Clea to fix an incursion in the multiverse. You remember with Charlize Theron at the end of that. If you guys haven't seen it, spoiler, sorry. There's Arishem from Eternals placing the planet on trial. There's a drop of Venom, the alien symbiote goo left in the same universe as Tom Holland's Peter Parker. So there's all that shies. So as of this, Kevin Feige has this to say. As we're nearing the end of phase 4, I think people will start to see where we're going with this next saga. I think there have been many clues already. They're at least apparent to me of where this whole saga is going, but we'll be a little more direct about that in the coming months. So set a plan so audience want to see bigger picture can see a tiny bit more of the roadmap. So the upcoming phases that we got, it's Love and Thor, Love and Thunder. We got Black Panther Wakanda coming out, Wakanda Forever. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels. So, and remember, you still got the Disney Plus shows as well. I don't really know where they're going with this, except for the fact that I think that we're probably going to have a Secret War at some point. And I think that everybody probably agrees with that. Now, if you guys don't know Secret War, that's in the comics. That is one of the big crossover events that's kind of like Infinity Gauntlet, or excuse me, Infinity War and Endgame. The Infinity Gauntlet was the storyline in the comic books. That's what it was called. But obviously the Gauntlet is what Thanos has. I do think we're going towards Secret War. And the reason I say that is because they're getting really galactic with a lot of the stuff right now with Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvels coming out, which includes Captain Marvel, Thor, Love and Thunder, which Thor's always been the one sort of galactic side that's kind of played in the old school street level Marvel stuff. And when I say street level and galactic, that's actually a term they refer to in the comics. Street level meaning like Captain America, Spider-Man, all the Iron Man, Hulk, all these guys that are more based on Earth. And then you have the galactic side of things like Thor, where they're not from Earth, they're from other places. And Captain Marvel, yes, she's from Earth, but she's harnessed powers from otherworldly things, and now she's off Earth all the time. Guardians of the Galaxy, off Earth all the time. So, point I'm trying to make is they're going to bring a lot of that in so we can have this Secret War thing going on. And now with the Multiverse of Madness happening, they're obviously going to tell their own version of what happens in there. But the main thing that comes out of the Secret War that everybody loves is the whole black suit Spider-Man and the symbiote. And I think it's clear we're leading there. With Tom Hardy at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, I mean, he's zapping the hotel thing. And then at the end of Venom, I think it was Venom, Let There Be Carnage, he does the zap, or maybe it was the end of Shang-Chi, or is it Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Now I'm getting it all mixed up. But one of the movies we saw that he was zapped over, and then the other movie he's talking to a bartender and then he gets zapped back. But then there's the alien goo left, the symbiote. So, I mean, that's gotta lead and be hinting that it's going to Secret War. And that's what I think Kevin Feige is talking about. Sorry, I had to get a drink there. So Feige also continues to say right here, and one of the things a lot of people are talking about is the Fantastic Four reboot that's in development. Spider-Man No Way Home helmer John Watts was originally, and I've got this right here reading it, he wasn't attached to it, but now he's dropped out of the project, and now he's got like a Star Wars project he's going to be working on. But John Krasinski was Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I'm a little confused about this, and you guys tell me what you think. But obviously, phase 5 is going to have Fantastic Four. They're going to be a major part of it. I'm positive we're going to get a full trilogy of Fantastic Four. And Reed Richards is going to be a main part of this deal. Oh, sorry. And in the comics, at some point, Peter Parker and Reed Richards really link up, and Peter and Parker Industries becomes a big deal, and there's just a lot of involvement with them. Remember, we've got Matt Murdock that now is involved. It's Daredevil, and plus all these other characters like Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, and just some side stuff. All the shit with Loki's still going down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. But as far as the Secret War and the symbiote and it all really coming to fruition, I, I guess we'll see how it happens. But I think that they're kind of going too far and too fast now with crossing it all over like this. And how long will the crossovers last? You know, how long will this Tom Hardy crossing over into the Spider-Man, and will it be Reed Richards that helps him deal with the symbiote? Because in the comics, that's what happens. He goes to Reed, and Reed helps him get the symbiote off of him, off of Peter. And so, if that's obviously going to be something we're dealing with, we're going to have a whole movie of that. And so, I'm thinking, like, are we going to get like a full-on Tom Hardy, Tom Holland crossover movie? And is it going to be a Sony film, or is it going to be is it going to be remaining in the MCU? Because you still have Morbius that's not in the MCU, but it, I guess, technically is attached because Michael Keaton's in there from the MCU, but those are Sony films just in the MCU. It's so complicated, I know. But now that we know that the MCU and Sony are making another Spider-Man trilogy and they're working on the next Spider-Man movie like in pre-production right now together, it's going to be in the MCU. I think with Reed Richards and all this stuff, I think it's inevitable that Secret War's coming. Oh, the thing I got distracted, I was talking about. So in Spider-Man No Way Home, you have these different Spider-Men that look different from each other, but because they're from different universes. And Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, you have all these different versions of people that look the same. For example, Maria Rambeau from Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel in this movie in another universe in Doctor Strange. But it's the same actor that was playing Maria Rambeau in Captain Marvel. All the Doctor Stranges that from different universes in Doctor Strange 2 all look the same. They're all Benedict Cumberbatch. But in No Way Home, the different Spider-Men look different and they have different, I don't know. It's just, there's holes there. I'm sorry. You've given us holes. And with the Morbius thing, with Michael Keaton floating over, I am very excited to see what they are going to do, but I can't say that I have high hopes for all of it. Just because, one, you got a lot of big shoulders to ride on with Endgame and Infinity War, but mainly, I just don't. I don't think they're thinking it out like they were originally. Like when they were making all these movies lead up to Infinity War and Endgame, I think they were just really grinding it out as far as let's make this work the right way. Let's tell the right story. Let's really, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure they're doing it this time around with it because I think that Marvel has become a machine. It's turned such into, and look, I'm happy that comic book movies and TV shows are around, but it really has turned into a machine so much that I just am not sure that I'm enjoying it like I used to. And I still am there for all of it. I still pay for it. I still go see it. But what I would like to see is them take a little care to because to me, everything leading up to Endgame is top notch. Yes, Thor Dark World is not quite as good as Thor and Thor Ragnarok. Yes, there are some other films that some people don't agree with. I personally think like Captain Marvel, when the more and more I watch it, I like it better and better. I can honestly say I adore all those movies leading up to Endgame. I think they're fantastic. Really well done. Ant-Man, just all the different concepts. I just think they nailed it. Just not sure I'm feeling it so much anymore. I loved No Way Home. Don't get me wrong. I loved Far From Home. I think Far From Home was awesome. No Way Home just had a couple of things in it that made me question how much they thought out the logistics of what's going on. And yes, it's in a world where you got to suspend disbelief and you have to think about all these characters that don't really exist, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Yes, I get that. You're watching fantasy. But there does have to be some sort of like realistic chain of events, if that makes sense. Logistic or logical chain of events. So, and look, let me just please make this clear for anybody a part of Marvel, Disney, all that stuff. I'm not dogging on any of this stuff. I'm just saying it's not hitting me like everything was up to Endgame and including Endgame. So phase 5, I'm excited about, yes, I'm excited about seeing Tom Holland in the black suit for sure. Yes, I'm excited about seeing all that, but I can't say that I'm confident that it's going to be awesome. Like when I walked into Endgame, it was really like I wasn't worried about it being awesome. I was like, how badass is this going to be? Like, how much of an A plus is this going to be an A plus plus? You know, I don't know if that's the thing, but anyways, again, not dogging on anybody there. I love the fact that Marvel is what it is and the MCU is doing what it's doing. I just feel like maybe there's a little bit too many things going on in the kitchen to where it's like you cannot focus on the dishes enough. Just my opinion. Still love you though. Still got Disney Plus. Still tuning in for all of it. So let's top it off with a little bit of our boy Ezra. God. So look, I'm glad that things are going the way that they're going with Ezra at this point as far as Warner Brothers is concerned. I'm disappointed that this has all taken the path that it's taken. Yes, it's going to be hard to look at these movies now without thinking about this crazy dude Ezra. But geez, I mean, it's definitely crazy. And it's pretty much come out now that Warner Brothers is done. He's not coming back after this. For the better part of a decade, Warner Brothers has tried its hardest to bring the Flash to the big screen, finally giving DC's Scarlet Speedster his first solo movie. Unfortunately, after countless delays and personal changes, the movie now appears to be in more trouble than ever because of Ezra Miller's issues. Now they're saying that he's done. He's out. And they don't know what they're going to do. They have no clue what is going to keep happening with Ezra Miller or with the Flash. Now, you can't get rid of the Flash. This movie is a $200 million film. And from what I've understood, it's fantastic. Everyone's giving it great reviews. Hang on, I'm going to get a little drink here. I want to see it. I love the idea that they're bringing, and if you see this picture right here, and I'll actually, let me just focus on that real quick. You see Batman's in the background there, and there's a Flash, and you see old bats. So we got Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton returning in this movie for both of their roles as their Batman from different universe. Oh boy. Something. Sorry, that was, I guess, my neighbor up there. Now, from what I understand, they leave it slightly open-ended for Affleck as well, that he might be able to come back, which I love. Super excited about that because I love Batfleck. But to taint this movie with Ezra's shenanigans and him just, I mean, how selfish can you be, Ezra? Seriously, I'm sorry. I hate to say it that way, but I feel like you're being selfish. So I don't think that Warner Brothers can afford to release this movie on HBO Max. This is what I'd do if I'm Warner Brothers and I'm the new guy, because they've purchased the DC side of or purchased Warner Brothers in general, but there's all these new changes going on. And look, there's probably a way. I have to believe there's a way with the you might have to spend a little extra money, but I'm not talking about hundreds of millions. There's probably a way to adapt an ending onto this Flash movie to establish a new Flash, a new person in the Flash role, considering that this movie is going to play around with multiverse stuff. That's the flavor of the month right now. And I like the Flashpoint storyline, and they're not pulling directly from that, but they're pulling loosely from it and remolding it a little way. So I say, if you're Warner Brothers, you just come out and acknowledge it to everyone and being like, look, guys, we are just as disheartened as y'all are. We really didn't see this coming. However, how could they not see it coming with all the trouble that he's been in? But we didn't see this coming. We need to release this movie because we feel like so many people worked on this, including all these other famous actors. Andrew Muschietti, who's bled his heart and soul into this film as the director. Just the people behind the crew, special effects people, everybody that's worked on this film, they don't deserve for it to be just dropped and lessened in value because Ezra's done these things. I say you just come out straightforward, Warner Brothers, and you're just like, hey, look, we know. And he's fired. We're going to figure out a way to make this right. But we feel like that so many other people, yes, he is Flash, and yes, he is portraying the character, but he's not what got this movie made. He's not what makes this movie good. He was a part of it, but he's not fully what makes it. If you guys can just appreciate that there was so many other people and so much more time and effort from other people's heart and soul put into this film, and then we will all move forward knowing that Ezra's gone and we will establish a new Flash at the end of this film because of the multiverse. And can you guys just give us a little grace on that? And please see that this is a good movie because of other people. And it wasn't just Ezra that made this movie. And it's a little tarnished by him, but please give these other people the due that they deserve for making this great picture. Because from what I understand, it's good. Everybody says it's great. So I say just come clean with the public about it. Say that, yes, we agree. We made a mistake for hanging on to him so long, and boy, he's done. We got him out of here, but we need to move forward with this character because everybody wants to see a Flash movie. And it's some hiccups. Look, I'm not trying to compare this to Chadwick Boseman dying because that's way, way worse. And God rest your soul, Chadwick. But what I'm saying is Marvel's figured out a way to move forward with the Wakanda universe with Black Panther name. And I think there's a way that they can manipulate this movie. They can't reshoot it. I don't think they can. Clint says that they will, but I think that there's a way that they could adjust it and adapt an ending, but and spend a little extra money. That way they don't lose not only their investment financially, but their investment of this world they've created and all the other actors in the movie, you know? So I got a comment here from somebody from Andrew Edwards. He says they need to get it in theaters ASAP before it gets any worse. Too much money at stake to bury it on streaming. I agree with you 100%. I think that that's exactly right. And I think that because of the people in it and because of what's going on and because of the style of the movie and the way it probably looks on the big screen and seeing it with other people in the theater, let's not forget that. Seeing a movie in the theater with other people to me is always better. The group experience, especially for superhero movies and horror films and comedies, the group experience is just better. And I think that it gains a notoriety in a sense that way that there's kind of a common ground that yes, this was awesome, and it kind of gets celebrated more when things get released on streaming. They get talked about for a second and then they get forgotten. And I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. The only way they don't get forgotten is the way they're doing shows now with Amazon Prime and stuff like that, and Hulu, where they're releasing them weekly like they used to. Keep that buzz floating around. But when you binge them, they're gone. You watch them, you talk about it for a week, and it's over. And I think that's kind of the way it goes with these major movies when they get released straight to streaming. You talk about it for a minute, and then it's over. But like Top Gun, people are still talking about that because it's a theatrical experience that's this sort of unified experience with everyone, and you can enjoy it together. And I love Top Gun like you, and you hear other people laughing at certain moments of the movie that you're laughing at, and there's a camaraderie that develops through these movie experiences. And I think that the Flash is a character that deserves that, and it doesn't need to be overshadowed by Ezra. However, like you said, release it in theaters ASAP before anything's getting worse. I don't think they can get any worse because Warner Brothers has said we're done with him. Now, yes, Ezra might make it worse as far as he might do some more things. And I don't think that they can rush the opening. And I think they have to do till 2023. One, because they're still working on post. And I think this movie has a lot of visual effects in it. But I think two, they might actually have to adapt a new ending and establish a new Flash. I don't think they're going to get Grant Gustin. What's really unfortunate is that they can't get Barry Keoghan, and I think that's his name. That's the guy that's in Eternals, and he's the Joker. Yeah, and I'm going to show you this guy real fast. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate they can't get this guy right here because he could actually do it. Hang on a second. Let me pull him up over here real fast. Okay, so yeah, like this guy right here, he could actually be the Flash. They could replace him with Ezra Miller because of the way he looks, and there's some similarities there. They could replace him and make it work fine, in my opinion. They've done that before, and with people knowing with what's going on with Ezra Miller, I think it could work. The only problem with that is that he's the new Joker. in the Batman world with Robert Pattinson, which I'm still convinced with this new Joker movie coming out, there's going to be some sort of crossover between those worlds. Just mark my words on that. I think the Batman trilogy or franchise will cross over with the Joker franchise. Just my theory. When it happens in a couple years, just you'll remember I said it. Um, so yeah, we can't have Barry Keoghan as the Flash, which he would work perfectly in my opinion because he's the Joker in that new universe. So, anyways, I don't think they'll get Grant Gustin. I don't want them to get Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin is the TV Flash. It's just like when everybody's like, why don't they just get Tom Welling to be Superman on the screen? It's like, look, bro, as much as I love Smallville, you just can't take Superman, Tom Welling, from a CW version of Superman and turn it into an epic version of Superman. You just can't. Has nothing. I'm not saying anything bad about Smallville. I love it. I don't own every 10 seasons. I think it was the start of all the TV superhero stuff that's still going. But I it's a different feel. Man of Steel is different than Smallville. Now, Superman Returns, I have beef with parts of that movie, but I also love parts of it as well. I think they could, I think they still did the right choice of not getting Tom Welling for that. But as far as what they're going for now and taking a TV version of something, I don't think we need Grant Gustin coming in to do the Flash. So I I think they'll figure it out. But I do think Warner Brothers, you'd be smart to just come forward, say to everybody, look, we get it. We know, we understand, and we're sorry. He's fired. We're going to figure out a way to move forward, but please give this movie the credit it deserves because of all the other people that put their heart and soul into this film, including the director and the actors. That's what they should do. They just come clean with everybody instead of trying to, because I know it's weird when your company having to make a public statement about something going on like this, especially when you're a company like Warner Brothers. It's already had the drama with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and now they're dealing with this too. And so it's just like, I get it. They're probably like, what the hell? Why can't we catch a break here? And look, what Andrew says, his easy solution is move away from Barry Allen Flash and towards the best comic book Flash ever, Wally West. I agree. And Wally West is kind of more of the Flash of, he's the Flash I remember more of growing up. And I don't get me wrong, I remember plenty about Barry Allen, but what I actually remember of the Flash initially was Wally West. And there were some things hinted to Wally West a little bit in Snyder's and stuff, but that was just, I think, for fun. I don't think they ever had any real intention on that. But they could move it to Wally West. Just do a multiverse thing to where it just incorporates him in, and there's a chain of events. Like I said, adapt an ending to where Wally West is now the new Flash, and then you can fix it. But I don't think the answer is putting this movie on streaming and lessening the value of what it actually is as far as the quality of it and what the final product is. And from what I understand, it's awesome. So that's just my thoughts on there. I'm really just honestly curious is what's going to happen with Ezra. I want to see this thing come to an end because I want to know. It's like a Dateline episode. I want to know the finality of it. I want to know, does like, did him and this girl get married? Does he just come back and realize that, oh, I just screwed up my entire career forever. I'm out of the. And that's another thing. He's still gone. Like, what is going on with this guy? I'm just very curious. So, got any thoughts about it, guys? If you didn't tune in live, you feel free to comment on this anytime, and I usually try to answer the comments. But hey, going to see Black Phone tonight. Like I said, Andrew and I have got screener passes to that, so I'm really excited. I hope that's going to be good. Directed by Scott Derrickson, starring Ethan Hawke, which they did Sinister together. And Scott Derrickson is the guy who directed Doctor Strange, the first one. So hope that's good, guys, and hope we'll be able to do a little spoiler review for you all tonight. And if not, like I said, I'll put a review out for it. But appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, life gives you lemons. Make some hot, fresh popcorns.